Doing dentistry I don't want to do. Many years ago, I had a patient that wanted to take a tooth out that could easily be fixed. I didn't want to do it. I felt like it was the wrong thing to do for her. I found myself in an ethical dilemma. How can I possibly extract this perfectly good yet slightly damaged tooth? I felt like the tooth had such a bright future ahead of it. Pizza, barbecue, churros. Before I get into all the details, I'm Larry Dougherty. I've been a dentist for over 16 years, and I'm here at Rolling Oaks Dental in Garden Ridge, Texas. This situation was so long ago, I can't remember exactly what I did, if I took that tooth out or not. I got over it eventually. But I realized that I needed to do a better job of serving people where they were at and what they could afford. I didn't need to put up barriers for people with limited means making adult decisions. Now, I'm not saying it isn't sad to me when a young person is in a situation where we have to do incredibly compromised care because it's all they can afford. It's part of the harsh reality of existing in the 21st century American healthcare system where the cost of the most basic care prices a lot of people out of the market. Dental insurance companies provide negligible support for their paying customers, and going into debt or seeking free care from volunteer organizations is the only option many people see for themselves. Sure, I see people with luxury items and fancy cars that can't afford to fix their teeth, and it's more of a situation that they don't value their teeth or their dental health, or perhaps they have some kind of complex thought process of resentment about insurance or the government not covering treatment costs, but that's just a small group of people, honestly. If you read the stats on the income for this country, it's obvious that a lot of people just don't have the money. For me personally, it was very tough to come to grips with all of this as a healthcare provider. A significant amount of the people that sat in my chair couldn't afford what I was offering them. Even if I did the treatment at cost, meaning the patient didn't pay me for my time, only the cost of the materials I was using, they still couldn't afford what I could do. To be a private practice dentist in the USA today, you have to wrap your head around this and accept this. You have to take out teeth that can be fixed. You have to make removable appliances for patients that can't get implants. You have to make compromises for patients that can't do the best that dentistry has to offer. So, 16 years into this, where do I draw the line? When do I say no to patients? The answer is kind of complicated, but essentially, I only say no when I know that what the patient wants to do isn't going to work. Let me describe a situation that has happened many times in my career. A patient walks in with a crown broken off. The crown's in a Ziploc bag, and all of the broken, decayed tooth is stuck inside the crown. When I look in the patient's mouth, there's a piece of decayed root in their mouth. We take an x-ray, and it looks like it's decay below the bone and possibly an infection. I show all my findings to the patient, and you guessed it, they want me to glue it back on. I then explain that it's physically impossible. It won't even make it out the door into the parking lot. Next thing you know, I'm being challenged by the patient.
Well, the last guy glued it back on. Lasted 7 months. He's done it 15 times, as a matter of fact.
I don't mess with that kind of stuff. People like that will simply have to seek care elsewhere. As a business owner and as an ethical person, I can't take someone's money when I know what they want me to do won't work. I like to do stuff that I know will work. I'm not saying everything I do works. Like every dentist that's practiced as long as I have, I can talk to you about quite a few failures. I'm okay with failures that had a high chance of working and they just didn't, and most reasonable patients are okay with this too. If something doesn't work and never had a chance, I'm gonna have to do a refund or a redo, and those aren't fun days. It's a waste of time and money for me and the patient, and there's nothing less delightful in this life than snuggling up close to someone's mouth when they're mad at you and you're mad at them. When I was younger, patients muscled me a lot more. They intimidated me into doing things I didn't want to do. It took me years to figure out how to stand my ground to protect myself and to protect patients from doing things that didn't serve them. Dentistry is all about relationships, and doing dentistry on someone that had no chance of working is a terrible way to start a relationship. It never ends well.